Hello students, welcome to online classes of Geography of Class 8. This is my fifth chapter going on, that is Mineral and Power Resources, and this is my fifth class of this chapter, number 5. The last class we discussed about the types of conventional energy resources. It is just the continuation of the previous class, that is what are the byproducts of those that is fossil fuels and map pointing related to these mineral distribution. So, let us proceed with the discussion of those byproducts. Now, the first one is related to the coal. Now, coal are having three byproducts: a solid which is termed as coke, a liquid material which is termed as coal tar, and the gaseous material which is termed as coal gas. Now, what is coal tar? Sorry, what is first of all, what is coke? Now, coke is actually formed when the coal is heated, when it is heated in the absence of air. Coal is heated in the absence of air. Okay. So, what is the resultant? The moisture content that is present in the coal, it just gets evaporated and we get a solid material, or we term it as a solid residue. We get a solid residue. So, this solid residue is termed as coke, and it is basically used, and this is having a very high carbon content. Coke is having a very high carbon content. Carbon content is high, and what is the resultant? It is basically used to extract out metal. It is basically used to extract out metal. And why it is so? Because it acts as a reducing agent. Coke acts as a reducing agent. So, the impurities which is present within the coal gets removed, or it's just the slag gets removed with the help of this reducing agent, and the solid residue that is formed or that is produced, it is termed as coke. And basically it is used in iron and steel industry. Now, the next one is coal gas. Next one is coal gas. Now, as I just mentioned bit earlier, that when we are heating up the coal in the absence of oxygen, so the moisture content that is present in the coal gets evaporated. So, when it gets evaporated, what is the resultant? It changes into a gaseous matter, and that gaseous matter is termed as coal gas. It is termed as coal gas, and it is basically used in the industry as a fuel. It is used in industries as fuel. So, coal gas is formed at the time of the formation of coke. Now, the third byproduct is coal tar. It is coal tar. Now, if the coal is heated up, and we are heated up in the absence of obviously air, so we are getting liquid which is black and very thick, black liquid, black and thick liquid. This black and thick liquid is termed as coal tar. Now, what are its uses? Its uses is it is used in synthetic dyes, synthetic dyes. It is used to produce perfumes. It is used to produce perfumes. Then it is there to make plastic paints. It is also used for making plastic paints. And a very common one, naphthalene. Hopefully you know what is naphthalene. It is similarly a white globules which is comparatively bit larger in shape, and we used to use these naphthalene balls to keep our garments or to keep the things protected from the termites, insects. So coal, it is basically formed that is using this coal tar. So naphthalene balls are also produced from the coal tar. So these are there, that is coal tar is used for producing all these substances. So the byproducts as coal is over. Now let us move to the next part, that is byproduct of petroleum. Now the byproduct of petroleum, you can see what is written over here. Number 1, gasoline, or it is also termed as petrol. What is it? It is a flammable liquid primarily used as a fuel. Hopefully the term petrol is not a new one, but another name of petrol is gasoline. Next is jet fuel. Now the fuel that is basically used for the aircrafts, that is considered as a aviation fuel. Diesel and other fuel. Now diesel and other fuel, diesel is very common. It is a byproduct of petroleum, and other fuel is kerosene. Kerosene, which is also named as paraffin, which is a combustible hydrocarbon liquid. Okay. Now the kerosene basically got its name from the term we have already discussed about in the previous class, kerosene. So kerosene is the byproduct. Now what is hydrocarbon actually? Hydrocarbon is just a organic substances. Okay, I am just explaining it by using my whiteboard. Now what is hydrocarbon? Hydrocarbon is a organic substances. It is a organic substance. Why it is considered as an organic substance? Because of the presence of carbon. So it is a organic substances. Okay, and it's an organic substance. And what does it constitute? It constitutes two very important things, that is hydrogen and carbon. Hydrogen and carbon. These are the two main constituents that makes hydrocarbon. And hydrocarbons are the principal constituent of, that means these two are the principal constituent of petroleum and natural gas. Petroleum and natural gas. Natural gas. Okay. So what are the raw materials? What is the use of this hydrocarbon? What is the use? It is there in the petroleum and the natural gas. So what is it used? It is basically used acts as a raw material in plastics, making plastics. Then it is used to make rubber. Then it is basically what we can say, there are some fibers, synthetic fibers, there it is also very much used. So these are some common uses of this hydrocarbon, because it a principal constituent of petroleum and natural gas. That means in petroleum and natural gas there is very much important constituent is hydrogen and carbon, and these two are having very high ignition power. that means it catches fire very quickly. So that is why that is why we can say the petroleum and natural gas, which is very much having a means with a very low ignition rate, it quickly catches fire. Okay, now let us move to the next, that is asphalt. Now the name asphalt is also known as bitumen. Bitumen means a sticky black viscous or a semi-solid petroleum. Now if you have observed that when the road is being we have seen when the construction of road is going on, at the end a very sticky material is just poured out on the entire surface of that road, and the vehicles or those who are moving from that area, they are having restriction because the tires or the shoes get stuck out with that sticky material. So that semi-solid sticky material is asphalt, or it is also named as bitumen. Next is heavy fuel. Heavy fuel means these are very heavy because of its what we can say, the consistency, and it is also termed as bunker fuel or residual fuel oil. Bunker fuel or residual fuel oil means it is basically a steam locomotive fuel, and it is that is used in the ships. Mainly bunkers means which is there in the ships, it is there to use for the ships. And lastly, lubricants. Lubricants are usually organic, usually organic, introduced to reduce friction between surfaces. Now when the machines, I am just giving a very basic examples. Suppose the lock and the key, sometimes the lock and that lock gets jammed. We cannot just use the key very smoothly. So what we do at that time, we put a bit of oil in those areas where it move, where it just having a part of friction. So why does this happen? Because when we are pouring out a bit of oily material, it makes the mobility very smooth. So it creates the friction very smooth, or it just helps to create the friction very smoothly. So where the machineries are used just for the smooth running of those machineries, the lubricants are used, and it is also a byproduct of petroleum. So these are the byproducts of petroleum. Now I will just proceed with the map pointing. I will just proceed with the map pointing of the part that is given, that is there in your map pointing syllabus. Now the first map is related to iron map. The first map is related to the iron map. So we are going to plot the important iron ore mines of our country. Important iron ore mines of our country. Now the first important iron ore mine is there in the part of, I am just enlarging the map so it will be clear. Basically it is concentrated to few states of the central India only. So the first important iron ore mine is there in this part of Odisha. In this part of Odisha, that is the first important iron ore mine. Okay, that is named as Mayurbhanj. I am just writing number 1 beside that, and then I will write the list of it. Second, it is just beside that part, that region only, number 2. It is number 2. This is Kendujhar. The second plotting is Kendujhar. Third plotting is there in Chhattisgarh, southern Chhattisgarh. This is third plotting and it is named as Bailadilla. It is named as Bailadilla. The fourth plotting is there in the central part of Chhattisgarh and it is named as Durg Mines. Durg Mines. Next, we are having in the state of Karnataka. We are having in the state of Karnataka. The first which is there, it's number 5, plotting number 5 in the eastern Karnataka. In the eastern Karnataka, plotting number 5, where I have written 5, that is the place, that is Bellary. Plotting number 5, Bellary. And very important mine is there in the southwestern part of our country or western Karnataka. This one, that is plotting number 6 and it is Kudaremukh. Kudaremukh mine. So, I will write the list of iron ore mines in the whiteboard. Okay, that is first plotting of the iron ore mines. I am repeating it once again. Point number 1, which is in the eastern Odisha, that is Mayurbhanj. Point number 2, which is there just adjacent towards the left of the plotting number 1, that is Kendujhar. Then plotting number 3, which is there in the southern tip of Chhattisgarh, that is Bailadilla. Then in the central part of Chhattisgarh, the plotting number 4, it is Durg. And then the eastern Karnataka, plotting number 5, Bellary. And western Karnataka, plotting number 6, Kudaremukh. So these are related to the iron map of India. Now the next map that I am going to proceed with is the copper map. That means the distribution of the copper. Now the first copper, that is the first copper resources that is found in our country. There are very less areas where the copper distributions are there. Number 1, the Balaghat mines of Madhya Pradesh. I am just enlarging the map. It will be easier for you also to see the locations. Number 1 is Balaghat mines. I am putting the number 1, serial number 1. It is the Balaghat mines in Madhya Pradesh. I am going to list out all these things in the whiteboard. Number 2 is the Khetri mines. It is the Khetri mines of the copper. Khetri mines is the second one of Rajasthan. Number 3 is the Singhbhum districts of Jharkhand. Singhbhum districts of Jharkhand. That means this part. Singhbhum districts of Jharkhand. It is plotting number 3. So these are the 3 major leading producers of the copper. Number 1 is number 1 is the Balaghat mines of Madhya Pradesh. Number 2 is the Khetri mines of Rajasthan, and number 3 the Singhbhum mines of Jharkhand. These are the 3 important mining areas of the copper. Now let us move to the third mineral, that is bauxite map or the bauxite mineral. Now bauxite reserves are also very less in number in our country. The reserves are very few in our country. I am proceeding with the enlarged part of it. It is basically located in nearby Chhattisgarh and Madhya Pradesh. Now the bauxite number 1, it is there in this part, boundary of Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. That is number 1, Amarkantak. Number 2, it is just parallel to that in this area, little bit diagonally towards down. It is number 2, that is Bilaspur, and number 3, is the Mica Hills of Chhattisgarh, which is situated over here. So all are found adjacent to Madhya Pradesh and Chhattisgarh. So these are the three important bauxite reserve areas in our country. Okay, number 1 Amarkantak, number 2 it's Bilaspur, and number 3 is Mica Hills. Now let us move to the next, that is mica distributions of our country. Now mica reserves are there in northern India also, western India also, and bit is there in the southern India also. But the areas are not too very vast, or too many are not there. Now we are going to plot the mica. Now the first mica distributing area is there in Bihar. Number 1, it is there in Bihar. It is there in Bihar. That is number 1. And the name is Gaya. Number 2, it is there in Jharkhand, just adjacent to that. It is just adjacent to Gaya in the state of Jharkhand. Okay, that is number 2, that is Hazaribagh. Okay, next it is there in Rajasthan. Number 3 Ajmer, the top one, and Biwar, just the, it's not so very vast. In this part here, okay, this is 1, this is 2, this is number 3, and this is number 4. Ajmer, Biwar, and lastly it is there in the Andhra Pradesh region. Lastly, it is there in the Andhra Pradesh region in this part, that is Nellore. Number 5. Plotting number 5. So, first one is there for mica. The first plotting is there in Jharkhand, that is Gaya. Just below that is there in the state of Gaya, which is there in Bihar, and second plotting which is there in Jharkhand is Hazaribagh. Third plotting is there in the state of Rajasthan. Fourth plotting is also there in Rajasthan, that is Ajmer and Biwar, and fifth plotting is there in the state of Andhra Pradesh, that is Nellore. So here your mineral distribution maps are over. Now we will proceed to the map coal mine areas, which are very important, or which are many are there in our country, coal mines of our country. Number 1, the coal mines of our country. Number 1, Raniganj of West Bengal. I am bit enlarging the state, which will be easier for me to plot it even for your part also. Number 1 is Raniganj, that is number 1. Number 2 is Jharia in state of Jharkhand, and just adjacent to that is plotting number 3 in the state of Jharkhand. It is there in the state of Jharkhand only. It is there in the state of Jharkhand only. Number 2 is Jharia, and just adjacent to that is Bokaro. 2 is Jharia and third one is Bokaro. Next, it's there in the state of Odisha, plotting number 4, that is Talcher. Plotting number 5, it is just below the Tropic of Cancer in the state of Chhattisgarh. Follow my words very clearly. Below the Tropic of Cancer in the state of Chhattisgarh, that is Korba. It is Korba, plotting number 5. Next, in the eastern Madhya Pradesh, plotting number 6, that is Singarani. Singrauli, sorry, it's not Singarani, it's Singrauli. And lastly, we are having in the southern India, we are having 2. Number 1 is there in the where there is a junction part of Telangana, Chhattisgarh and Andhra Pradesh in this region, that is Singarani. It is plotting number 7. And lastly, plotting number 8 in the state of Tamil Nadu, that is Neyveli. Plotting number 8, Neyveli. So, these are the plottings of coal. Number 1, Raniganj in West Bengal. Number 2, Jharia in Jharkhand. Number 3, Bokaro in Jharkhand. Number 4, Talcher in Odisha. Number 5, that is Korba. It is below Tropic of Cancer. Korba in the state of Chhattisgarh. Singrauli, which is the eastern extreme of Madhya Pradesh, just where the junction of Telangana, Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh is there. There is the plotting for Singarani mines, and then comes the Nellore mines of Tamil Nadu. Sorry, not Nellore, Neyveli mines of Tamil Nadu, that is plotting number 8. Now the last plotting we are having, it's related to your fossil fuel, that is petroleum. That is the last plotting. Petroleum reserves. Now the petroleum reserves are basically found in the extreme eastern part and extreme western part. So just I am enlarging it. The very much oldest petroleum reserve of our country is situated in Assam. It is situated in Assam. That is plotting number 1, Digboy. And then plotting number 2 we are having there in the western part. Here it is in the Gujarat region, Kalol. Sorry, I am not writing the name, I will write it in the whiteboard. It is plotting number 2. Here, plotting number 2, and then just below that, here plotting number 3, Ankaleshwar, and 2 are there on the Arabian Sea. 2 are there on the Arabian Sea. Number 1, just adjacent to the boundary of Gujarat on the Arabian Sea is plotting number 4, that is Bhasen, and closer by to the coast of Maharashtra is there, that is plotting number 5. It is Mumbai High, the very famous Mumbai High. So these are the 5 petroleum reserves. The oldest petroleum reserve of our country is there in the northeastern part in the state of Assam. Number 1, Digboy. Number 2 is there in Gujarat, that is Kalol. Number 3 is there in Gujarat, that is Ankaleshwar. And all these are termed as onshore petroleum reserve because it is located on the shore, means on the coast or on the land surface. So these are onshore petroleum reserves, and the two which is there on the Arabian Sea, those are termed as offshore petroleum reserves. So what are those? Number 4 is Bauxite and number 5 is Mumbai High. So your map pointing for this chapter is over. If you are having any doubt, just mention it without any hesitation in the comment section, and thank you for following my class.